Here are some highlights of this program.
Hello everybody.
Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Mechanics, electricity, computer science, innovation,
And we know that this brainstorm.
Yourself after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one. Welcome to Brainstorm. Today's topic is gender equality and Congolese women empowerment. What are some outstanding qualities that Congolese women should display for gender equality and women empowerment? Should they feel left behind when it comes to gender equality and women empowerment? What can they do to reach out for more gender equality? Please, ladies, women, and especially girls, pay rapt attention as we discuss this topic on this program. I'm honored on this stage just to welcome a lady, the first time on this show. Her name is Tina Yambangezi. She's a teacher of English at Collège Mater Vitae, and she's also an English department junior lecturer. Hi, how are you doing, Tina?
Hi, thanks. And you, I hope?
I'm delighted just to welcome you.
Thank you.
The very first time a lady on this show.
It's an honor for me.
Yes. And then you're going to speak on behalf of ladies watching
exactly.
you. It's good, something good. So let's get started. As a woman, you are certainly involved in gender equality. What is it exactly?
Well, gender equality concerns women and men. I can say both. But we need to know that gender equality focuses on women's rights. Women have the same right as men. A man has the same right as a woman. So we equal whether in private or public life. That's gender equality.
Okay. You're one of the girls or the women who can give that definition about gender equality, because most of them don't understand exactly what is gender equality. So in addition to Tina's explanations or the definition she's just given, we'd like you to watch different women around the world who gives explanation of what gender equality is. Please watch.
Gender equality means to me my daughter not hitting a glass ceiling when she enters the workplace, my brother being given parental leave and having time off to have the work-life balance he wants with his family, and structural barriers removed, which means that women and men can succeed and thrive in the workplace without a hand up, without a handout, but equally and with the same merit.
Gender equality to me is when any person of any gender can achieve what they want to achieve in their life.
Gender equality to me means the ongoing departure from negative stereotypes that have historically disadvantaged women.
We are human beings before we are the male or female role that we play in society.
Gender equality for me means equal opportunities, choice, education and pay.
To me, gender equality is a basic human rights principle.
Women or men would apply for a job and will never think about this reason why they could be oppressed or would encounter a glass ceiling.
Women will have the same rights to work, to study, and to lead a political and economic life the same as men.
I think we'll know when we have gender equality when the President of the United States is a female and the most powerful woman in the world is a female.
When we're no longer focused on doing things better than men.
When female athletes get paid the same as male athletes.
When my body is no longer used as a marketing tool.
When there is a position for women in any industry.
When it's not unusual to see women in boardrooms.
Not being told just because I'm a female director that all I can make is rom-coms.
Treating your daughter is like your son
and your son like your daughters.
It's about getting women into work as much as men. So we have access to 50% of the talent pool we perhaps didn't have access to before, and our economy can be the strongest it can be.
No matter who I am with, my colleagues or the members of the public, I am still treated with the same level of respect.
We shouldn't have to think, I need this because I'm a woman, or I have this because I'm a man. Humanity is the best answer to gender equality. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, now why do the majority of Congolese women claim for gender equality?
The majority of women claim for gender equality because they feel left at the bottom, at what I can say, and they don't give them the same right to express themselves, and they tell them, you can do this, you can't do this, but you can do only this. So they have limited their rights, their opportunities, and their capacity. That's why we're claiming for gender equality. So what I can say about that.
Okay, but it seems that that claim is much focused during the March, not other days or March other times, but ladies are most focused during March when we celebrate Women's Month to declare or claim for their rights. Why is that so?
Right, you're right on what you said. We see, I need to be pragmatic, we see what happens. We see women always mostly claiming on March, and they think that it is limited on wearing, I don't know, dress or skirts or the material of Africa, but it isn't the case. What we need to know that we need to claim for our right every day as long as we live, okay? So from Monday till Sunday and from January till December, we need to claim for our right. It's not going to be only in March. We are not women only on March, and we don't need to have a consideration only in March, but during whole our lifetime to work, and so we need to fight for. And it's what I'm going to tell my sisters, my mothers, and my fellow citizens, that we need to fight every day from time to time, show what we're able of. We don't need only to wear the African material and fight, show what we're able of. Once we show to the whole world what we're able of, they're going to respect us every day, and they're going to say, you deserve respect, you deserve to do what men can do. So
I appreciated so much the word you used, being pragmatic. So what kind of problem gender equality, once implemented in Congolese society, solve?
Okay, once gender equality on the ground in DRC, I mean, it's still, I can say, a bit a fiction.
It's
partially,
like a dream.
Yes, partially a fiction. It's verbal, but it's not really what we see. And once the government tries to take it as its concern, because it's a concern mainly, basically for the government, we are going to notice that we are going to go forward. Our country is going to go forward as we see other countries where they really support women, where there's a special care for women, where there are competitions to encourage women, to show them to such a scholarship and so on. We are going to feel that the country is going to go forward, because if many women have studies, 52% of our population is made of women. So if the majority is educated, if the majority is competent, if the majority can think better, the country is going to go forward, whether on social life, political life, and in each domain of our life.
Oh, yeah, you say it correctly. And there are problems, numerous problems. We can't cover all of those problems when it comes to gender equality. Please, we'd like you just to have an insight of the gender equality states around the world through this video. Enjoy it, please, and we'll be back.
While many countries have made great progress in narrowing gender gaps in education, new ones are opening. Of the weakest students in the 3 core subjects PISA assesses, reading, mathematics, and science, 6 out of 10 are boys. At the same time, girls struggle when they are asked to think like scientists and apply what they've learned at school. Boys do less homework than girls, play more video games, and rarely read in their spare time. Parents and teachers can help boys to improve their reading habits by giving them more choice in what they read, allowing them some time for video gaming, but insisting that they do their homework too. Too many girls still lack confidence in their own abilities in maths, and parents are less likely to expect their daughters to pursue mathematics-related careers. Parents and teachers can help to build girls' confidence by encouraging them to solve problems independently. When girls and boys can fulfill their potential in school, they can contribute more to the economic growth and well-being of their societies later on.
Okay, now, do you think that Congolese women deserve gender equality, or they should earn, it's like what I mean, that can be or could be given them as a gift, or they must deserve?
Well, it's a very complex question. DRC women, everything in this world is deserved. First of all, we need to deserve it. And if some women can still now, if until today they can deserve it because they've not yet recognized their value, they don't show what they're able of. I can take a very mere example in a class where we see men and women. When you work hard, when you respect yourself, even those men, your student fellows are going to have a limit. You see, the way they treat others is not going to be the same way they treat you. I'm an example. I see men.
You went through that.
Yes, I went through that exactly. We see the way they treat my classmates, classmates, is not the same the way they treat me. So they give me more respect, and they come always to get some viewpoints for me. What do I think about life? What do I think about student life issues? And you feel it differently. We need to deserve, and to deserve that we need to show what we're able of. Intellectually, we need to be intellectually independent, financially independent, and that is how. There are many, we're not going to talk about everything today, unfortunately, but...
Gender equality, is it involved in women's rights?
Yes.
But if that is so, why don't Congolese ladies or women claim for it?
It's because they're, first of all, ignorant of their rights, and also our culture for years, for centuries, they've put that idea in our minds. So we are a bit like pessimists. We think that we can do what men can do. That's now the great issue that we're going to solve, because as well as it took much time, that reinforcement saying you can do what this can do, you can do what do. So we need also enough time to get healed step by step. It's a very long process.
Who put that mindset in your mind, that mindset or mentality in you girls, women?
As I said, our culture, our grandparents of, I can say, our ascendants, they put it in our mind, and it has stayed so until now. Though others are trying to get out of it, but we feel that there is still a huge work to do to achieve.
Yeah, a huge work to do just to achieve that. You are still optimistic that can be done in the future, even in the near future. But we like, in addition to what the women say, it seems that they only talk, but there is no concrete actions on the ground as regards to gender equality. But now, listen to different speeches made by women, famous women around the world, even some of them who want to claim their rights. Please watch this video, and we'll be back.
In one voice, the world declared, human rights are women's rights, and women's rights are human rights.
Women are not even accepted as human beings. They are treated with injustice and inequality. Women are denied They are neglected even in the developed countries.
I am from Britain, and I think it is right that I am paid the same as my male counterparts. I think it is right that I should be able to make decisions about my own body.
I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. I will not. And the government will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. Now looking at his watch because apparently a woman's spoken too long.
So I think right now we have the chance to be heard, and that's why we're doing it. We're all doing it because we're asking to try and elicit change.
How do we use this moment to elevate what is happening instead of continually victimize ourselves?
It's our responsibility to make this world a better place. Yes, we play sports. Yes, we play soccer. Yes, we're female athletes, but we're so much more than that.
The women's movement of this world has mellowed. Our issues and our conversation has become issues for men. I get angry when I think about it. No woman should sit down and allow a man to speak about her reproductive rights. Until you've gone through that process, I've come from Africa to tell you you don't qualify.
Okay, there is a saying, quote, educating a woman is educating the whole nation. However, why is there less investment in education of girls than boys?
I'm going to repeat myself.
Oh, repeat yourself.
I'm going to
make
repeat.
it clear.
I'm going to repeat myself. The main issue to this less involvement of women education is much cultural. You see, cultural causes, cultural background is the one still. It's even still in work in the mind of those who call themselves educated, those we see talking on the TV. They can try to claim it, but you know what is inside them is still, there is still great work to do, even for men as well as women. So,
okay, I agree with you, but now let's touch on women empowerment. What can be done to get Congolese women empowered?
Okay, to get Congolese women empowered, the government needs to really get involved. And thanks to the First Lady, Madame Denise, that we are seeing, she's Madame Denise Nyakero, she's working, struggling
First
hard.
Lady.
Yes, the First Lady of our country. She's really working hard. We see some NGOs working for that, but I want everybody to get involved, not only those who are ruling the country, not only those who are financially rich, but even those who have rich ideas, you see. Those having rich ideas, they need to support, they need to tell women around them that you can do, especially for mothers. It's also their work to tell her daughter, you can do what X does. You can achieve the goal, you can get 85%, you can become a president, you can do this. Everybody needs to get involved, every woman, even men needs to get involved. Parents, fathers need to encourage their daughters, and husbands encourage their wives, and brothers encourage their sisters, and to give them support financially, give them the opportunity to study, to go further, give them scholarship, and give them security and love, even it can help them achieve the goal.
You made a good point, a valid point. It means that the responsibilities are shared
It's
at
shared.
all level.
At all level.
Decision makers, we have foundations, owners, and so on, parents
Yes,
as well.
brothers.
And each single individual, women, just to be aware of that right and how to get empowered. So it demands some efforts on your part, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So is a women empowerment part of social development?
Yes, it is. It is part. I can take example of other countries, for example, the US, where we see women. We can see England, where we see women getting higher posts, and we see how they rule the country. We see the results. It's obvious. It's obvious. We see the result. And if the government, if everybody, decision makers and us, and everybody gets involved in that issue, we are going to solve political problems, as I said, social problem, and any other domain concerning human being life.
Okay.
That's the assurance that we're going to get.
Okay, gender equality and women empowerment is not only a Congolese issue, it's also a global problem. Please watch this video and we'll be back.
Solving the world's biggest challenges starts with girls and women. Here's what you need to know. There's never been a better time for girls and women. From pop culture to the halls of power, girls and women all over the world are breaking down barriers and doing big things. But the fight for universal gender equality isn't over yet. More than 150 countries still have at least one law on the books that restricts women's opportunities. That's more than 8 out of every 10 countries on Earth. Some of these laws are pretty staggering. 18 countries give husbands the right to ban their wives from working. 17 countries require women to ask permission from a man before leaving her own home. 46 countries provide no legal protection against domestic violence. And 41 countries provide no legal consequence for sexual harassment at work. These numbers tell a story of harsh limitations that prohibit girls and women around the world from reaching their potential. Women like Nadia Murad, who escaped sex slavery at the hands of ISIS and now dedicates her life to speaking out for the Yazidi women still in captivity. Injustices like these don't just affect women. When half the world is held back, we all pay the price. Right now, an estimated 865 million women are ready to contribute more to their nation's economies. Just imagine how much more prosperous the world could be if outdated norms weren't getting in their way. And that's just the start. 1 in 6 adolescent girls can't access a secondary education. Yet studies show that when 10% more girls go to school, a country's GDP increases by an average of 3%. On top of that, girls who make it past grade 7 are likely to marry later, have fewer and healthier children, and send their kids to school. Long story short, when girls and women are given the opportunities they deserve, entire societies become healthier, better educated, and more sustainable. Let's build that better world together. You have the power to stand up for women and girls, hold world leaders accountable, and demand an end to unjust laws. Join the movement. Become a global citizen. A better world for girls and women and everyone else is within reach.
All right, let's move on. So now, which sector fits well for women empowerment?
Women empowerment, which sector fits well? All the sector that...
You can name some of them?
Yes, political, engineering, government, everything. Women can do everything, and I repeat myself, everything. There is no a sector where women need to get involved, as we were saying, in the kitchen, households and stuff. No.
And you also a living testimony. What have you achieved so far at education, college? You did something great.
Yes.
Right. It means that it's possible just to achieve women empowerment. Yes. So now we're going just to watch another video, but we'd like you to understand there are some situations that taking place at workplace for women. So please watch this video, the statement made by this lady, and we're back.
When it comes to gender inequality in workplaces today, what we have is knowledge, but what we lack is understanding. We know that workplaces would benefit from having more women in leadership positions. We know that women face numerous challenges in trying to get there. But what we lack is an understanding as to why. How many leaders in your organization can explain how gender inequality works? This matters. We need leaders to understand this because leaders are the ones who are going to be tackling it. So, gender inequality is actually pretty simple. Workplaces since the beginning of time were really hardwired to try and advance an ideal type of worker to succeed. And this tends to be white, middle-class, heterosexual, able-bodied men. But importantly, this also tends to be somebody who's willing to make work the #1 priority and engage in dominant, assertive, aggressive, competitive, and maybe even exclusionary behaviors to get ahead. The problem is, most people don't fit this ideal. The more ways that you differ from this ideal, the more barriers you're going to face trying to advance at work. And for women, they experience these barriers the moment they enter workplaces, and this continues throughout their careers. Importantly though, this creates a lot of challenges for men, most of which never really get talked about. We need to change the prototype. We need to get rid of this ideal. We need to create work environments that enable men and women to show up differently and to be themselves at work. And it's for this reason that gender equality benefits women, but also men. We need to make our workplaces work for everybody. So if you've experienced this ideal worker standard, and if it's created inequality for you in your workplace, then please leave a comment in the section below.
Okay, little by little, we're landing just to the end of our talk show. Why celebrating Women's Month? What should Congolese women, especially girls, keep in their mind?
The thing we need to keep in our mind is that the month of March is not celebrating women, but it's the day for women's rights, the day we need to fight for our right. We need to celebrate those who have done great achievement and those who have fought so that today I can be on a talk show. We need to fight. We need to meet each other, to talk, to share ideas, and not limit it only in wearing African materials. You can see I'm not having it today. And we need to fight, to meet, to share ideas, find those who can encourage us, envy those who have done great achievements. That is what we should do.
Okay, that goal could be reached at how many percent? 70 or 80%?
For this year?
For this year, 2020 or 2023, 70 or 80%?
It's a very long process. It's a long process. As I said, it took centuries for our ancestors and to put that pessimist idea in our mind. The same, it needs centuries for us to get out of it. But it's a long process that we are going certainly to achieve if everybody gets involved and if we work from time to time and if decision makers support us and NGOs, we are going to
appreciate it much, and I think that even the audience watching you, especially ladies, appreciate your optimism, right? That's really good. Now, what kind of message can you send to the Congolese decision makers as far as gender equality and women empowerment are concerned?
The message that I can send to decision makers is that we need support. Women need support. We need support, and what I can suggest them is to give a special attention, a pragmatic attention, not only verbal, a pragmatic attention on women, to give scholarship to those who work hard, to give promises that they're going to realize. For women, if you do this, you're going to get this. And we need motivation. Once somebody is motivated, he's going to do his best. They need to hold women lady, wherever they age, and to bring her where she's supposed to be.
Your last message to ladies and girls watching you now.
Okay, my mothers, my sisters, I can say my sisters, my niece. The message I'm going to send you now is that you need to remove that pessimist mind.
To remove that pessimism mind. Okay.
To remove that pessimist mind, you need to know that you can do what a man can do. You can work harder. You can rule a company. You can rule the country. You can do what a man does. You can arrive and be surrounded by those who inspire you, by those who are optimists, and by all those who have gone out of feeling themselves lower than men such as me.
Okay, I think your message is understood, right?
Yes.
I'm happy and proud of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us on this platform.
Thank you for giving me this honor to speak on the behalf of women.
Thanks. Ladies, women, especially girls, you've watched this talk show. It's very fascinating. As we welcome on this stage Tina, she spoke well on behalf of ladies, not only those living in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but those who live in also overseas. It was a real pleasure for us to discuss for at least 20 minutes or 26 minutes. There's a topic which is very important. We'd like you to stay tuned on the second national channel. And we remember there are those who watch us and who want to support this talk show. I think of Ladi Coton living abroad and so on. And take care of yourself. See you next time. Here are some highlights of this program. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brainstorm exclusive interview.
Our education should be corrected, adapted, and updated.
Live better, they can send their children to school because they can interact with their authorities.
Electricity, computer science, innovation,
And we know that this Brainstorm, you yourself after watching this interesting program, notice the final statement made by our notable guest, a brand new one.